You ever seen, I guess you've been around your share of kickers, but Jake, in terms of like his preparation, his process on big kicks like that, what stands out?
Really it's just his mindset going into anything. Really anything Jake does, whether it's on the football field or in here or, in our room, his competitive drive is something that is unmatched. And I'm sure he's alluded to it when he was, playing all those sports in high school and everything. He's got that mindset where he wants the pressure on him and he knows he's going to come through in any given situation, which is awesome.
We found out that you're in charge of telling Nick if it's good or not. I think there's one time it wasn't good. So how do you handle that when the rare time he doesn't make it?
It's just like in anything else, just tell him the truth. I usually, I know he alluded to where I give him the point, like it's good, boom, perfect. If it's not, it's a shake of the head. On to the next play. And he'll always ask, different, what happened on that, and I'll try to give him the best answer I could possibly give him in that turn of the situation. But usually it's a boom, fingers point to him, or it's a rare shake of the head.
In these past 2+ years, we've seen Jake in a lot of different athletic competitions. What's the most impressive non-football thing he's done?
He's a wizard on the ping pong table. We actually, before our walkthroughs, we go out there for about 10 minutes before or something. We just try to hit the crossbar from the 20-yard line, and he usually gets on a heater, and it's pretty impressive how much touch and how locked in he is in terms of all that. But just having that competitive drive is awesome, not just for our room, but the guys that sit in the other chairs that play on the court floor. They see that competitive drive and they want to match it.
Do you remember your first time becoming aware of Jake when he was coming out of college? Like what you thought about him then?
You know what? Going back a few years ago now, six years ago, I think. Coming out of Memphis, I knew he was one of the better kickers coming out. I was fortunate enough that we had a kicker out there in San Francisco, but just that competitive drive, and you watch every game from around the league, and you just know something sticks out. And when a guy as a rookie against the Giants hits a 61-yarder to win the game, there's something special in that kid, and he's just done a great job of just getting better and better as he goes on in his career.
Braden's punting numbers haven't been good. Is it too early to panic?
I don't know if there's much of a panic, going on with all that. Shoot. Obviously, cut and dry. The first one wasn't, what we wanted. Got to get better at that. The second one was a lower of a hang time, but we got to do a better job. We had missed a couple tackles that could have mitigated that return from 14. That could have been probably 6 to 8 yards, and you're getting out of there with a 42-yard net. But the cool thing about it is, these guys are such professionals, and nobody's a harder critic than themselves. Him to come back and hit a 47-yard ball with a 5-0 hang time to pin him at the 7-yard line really helped us get our punt return going, which is very encouraging for Braden. It's just to stay within himself, throughout the course of the game and help us out in that situation.
Speaking of punt return, if Britton can't go this week, is it Olamide, and how has he looked in that role?
I can't say all that. We don't want to give them the advantage, but we'll be ready for whoever we put out there, and it's really cool seeing these guys that are blocking for whoever our returner is, that competitive drive, knowing that they got someone special back there, or whoever it is back there, that they want to get, help the team out in any way possible and flipping the field as a punt return unit.
Jake said after the game his range was within 59, 58 for that game. What's the process before the game in determining what the range would be on a given day?
Yeah, it all goes through the pregame. Jake, Tyler Brown, Coach Sirianni, they have a great communication with myself as well. Like, hey, this is where we feel comfortable with it. We like to, obviously shorter field goals makes your blood pressure kind of not go as high, but whatever he feels as comfortable with, we're gonna ride with it. Give him take a couple yards. Given the situation, he made it a point going into overtime. Like if we did lose that, we wanted to kick that way, so we did have a helping win, which obviously helped out in that 55-yard or 54-yard or whatever it was. So the communication has always been, to the point, concise, and everyone's been on the same page about it.
Keely Ringo's been one of the highest graded guys on your team when it comes in terms of overall special teams play. What has been his reasons why he's done so well, like especially on coverage kickoff coverage and punt coverage.
Yeah, a lot of credit goes to Keely, understanding his role on this team. And, Tyler Brown does a great job working that perimeter, whether it's the gunners or the kickoff coverage. And a lot of the times these young guys, you just try to keep them as, you don't want them getting down on themselves if something bad happens. A lot of these guys come from, Power 5 conferences and they're the best player out there. But in the NFL, everyone's the best player out there. But his knowledge of the game, he always asks questions. He wants to strive to get better. Which is great, and just to allow him to be himself, be free, and use his athletic prowess. I mean, you rarely find a guy that's 6'2" that can run that fast, and just not to clutter his mind too much. Give him one concise rule: hey, this is what you got to do. If you can do this at a high level, it's all going to end up fine. And he's been able to do that. He's been doing a great job as a punt return jammer. I mean, the guy that could run, on the one that Covey broke for 20 yards. He was that left side jammer, and he washed that gunner all the way to the opposite side of the field and allows a running lane for Covey to get. Then it was really cool seeing Tristan and Eli switch positions right there. He let one go. Tristan went and got the other guy and blocked 95 to allow that lane for them. So it's really cool seeing these young guys still work in tandem, knowing their rules, their responsibilities, and being able to help this team in any way possible.
Around the league, Jake's been so successful, but it seems like there's a lot more 50-plus yard field goals than there have been. Graham hit a 56-yarder, I think, yesterday. Have you done any studies on that? And can you put your finger on just guys getting better, or is it something?
Yeah, I mean, just guys in the NFL are so talented now. Even through college, these guys got some big legs to perform at a high level. I mean, Graham's been doing it for a long time. He came out with a very strong leg, and a lot of it just goes into the technique. Not changing your swing, regardless if it's a 25-yard field goal or a 55-yard field goal, and just staying consistent with that. And a lot of the times, a lot of factors go into that, weather, where you're playing at, obviously, but a lot of these guys are extremely talented, and they have a lot of leg power to get those 50-plus yard field goals. But a lot goes into those guys just perfecting their craft. To not change their swing regardless of the distance.
Mike, I guess when you guys go to a stadium that you guys are pretty unfamiliar with, what are like the points of emphasis or message? How do you guys best prepare for the environment in terms of lighting, whatever it may be?
Yeah, we always look at all those situations. Coach Sirianni really does a great job with all that. I was fortunate enough in 2020 to play in SoFi in San Francisco, so any insight I could give these guys if they ask, hey, how's the stadium? Obviously it was a little bit different being a COVID year without the fans and everything, but the layout and everything, just trying to remember everything and give any insight I possibly can for an unfamiliar stadium, being it so new, but I was fortunate enough to be there in 2020.
What's Nick's
Couple
reaction
more?
when you have to signal that it's a miss? You answered what it's like, it's a make. How does he handle it when it's a miss?
Oh, he's very, he's pretty calm about it. You just kind of ask a couple questions. Hey, what happened on this? I just try to give him a straightforward answer for what I saw as well. So it's nothing, it's just constant communication. Hey, it went in, it didn't go in, and nothing really changes. On to the next play. We'll get them next time.
Do you look at the kicker, the uprights, or do you have a process yourself?
I just usually kind of walk behind. It's pretty tough on the field to actually see if it goes through, especially if you're too close to the angle. I usually walk a significant amount, 20 to 25 yards behind, and I could usually tell, as soon as Jake kicks it, the ball flight, I'm not too worried about the distance and everything when it does happen, but I could usually tell, all right, it's falling back forward. I almost gave him a premature one in New England. I thought, oh, this is perfect. It bounced off the upright and went in, and he looked at me. I was like, uh-oh. But, hey, it went in. Hey, in the next play, let's get this kickoff team going. But for the most part, I'll walk behind, and I get a little bit of a better angle to see it.
When you guys took the lead late in regulation, there was the taunting penalty. Is that something you have in your mind, or is that you got to make that quick decision how you want the kickoff to go the best way possible?
Yeah, we prepare for every different situation throughout the week, whether it's a kickoff return after a safety or we have to kick off after a penalty. And a lot of it's just our mindset. The offense did a great job. They gave us the lead. We can't allow a big return to give Washington a fair field position. So we got to be able, in our mind, those 11 guys that take that field for kickoff, including Jake, to give us a good ball for us to go cover, and we got to rally. We got to be able to get down there against a very good returner in Antonio Gibson and mitigate the return yardage right there. We probably could have got him down probably 4 to 5 yards earlier, That's stuff we got to clean up because it's still, you know, young in the season, but there's still a lot to clean up from the special team standpoint. But it's all about the mindset. Hey, we can't allow this team to get a short field to put them in a better situation to score. Let's make it as long as a field as possibly can. They don't have as much time. So it's just that mindset and prepping these guys. Hey, we got to get down there and we got to cover this kick.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.